be certain, knowing that you will always be rewarded according to how you lead your life in all things, because whatever you take in your hand you create your own reward with it. This is given through the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, so that you may receive your reward in equitableness, fairness, according to how you conduct care for your thoughts and feelings, and how you carry out your deeds. Therefore consider that it is you yourselves who form your foreordination destiny. Therefore it is not the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, because they merely advise you what results as gain activity from the wellspring of power, cause truly you alone form everything. Therefore you create tribulation and misery for yourselves and humiliate yourselves if you do not heed and follow the guidelines, basic rules of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation. There is no law and no recommendation of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation that demands submissiveness or other subservience from you, because submissiveness is a punishable disparagement, contemptibility, that is only demanded by people of your kind, human beings, for people of your kind fellow human beings, in order to keep you in abasement, subservience, servitude, so that you can be exploited in every possible way. And truly, as the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, and its laws and recommendations do not demand submissiveness from you, neither do they demand any punishment for what you do in inequity, unfairness, and non-righteousness, consciencelessness, as well as in virtuelessness and in unknowledge of the truth. Because what punishment you suffer is what you inflict on yourselves when you harden your thoughts and feelings and your inner world consciousness, as well as your psyche, because in yourselves you consider everything evil as well done convenience, and are willingly devoted to it. Truly, you continually forget what admonishments are granted to you through the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life, which opens the gateway of all things, knowledge and wisdom, to you, so that you can comprehend, understand everything, so that you can take joy in all things and do not cast yourselves into darkness, despair. Do not be malefactors, irresponsible ones, against the truth, neither as a people nor as a single one individual, but obtain for yourselves the gain reward that comes forth to you from the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, if you follow them. If your hearing and your face eyesight were taken away and your inner world consciousness sealed, then you would be deaf and blind and without thoughts and feelings, and no one could give you the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life, because you could not hear anything, see anything, or comprehend, understand anything in Sagan's intellect. But even without your hearing and your face eyesight being taken away, and without your inner world consciousness being sealed, so that you can hear and see and use your Sagan's intellect, you still turn away from the teaching of truth, and do not heed the manifold signs, evidence, which are given to you through the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, and through its appearance nature. If an unexpected and evident punishment were meted out on you through the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, or through its laws and recommendations, as people of your kind human beings mete out punishment on people of your kind fellow human beings, then you would be destroyed as a people and as single ones, individual ones. But the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation is fair and does not mete out punishment on its creatures and creations, because punishment is a concoction, invention, by people of your kind human beings, in deviancy and degeneracy. Truly, you can learn these things through the teaching of the prophets who bring their knowledge and their wisdom to you as the goblet of truth. But the true prophets are not envoys of fabulated, invented gods or tin gods. Rather, they have arisen from themselves, from their own determination, so that they are for you bringers of joyful messages and are warners for you for what you do, that is of terribleness and inequity and unfairness, as well as of unrightness and virtuelessness, by which you create and loathe unfreedom, bondage, dissonance, disharmony, and unpeace and jealousy, as well as hatred, revenge and retribution, killing, battle, war, destruction and outrage, crime, and other lawlessness. Those amongst you, however, who follow the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, and the laws and recommendations of people of your kind society, no fear and no sorrow shall come over you through misdemeanors against the standing rules and regulations, because you allow yourselves to be guided by the guideline guidance of the laws and recommendations. Those amongst you, however, who reject the signs evidence of the truth and of the laws and recommendations, you will be brought to account through yourselves and through a punishment of the jurisdiction for your disobedience. Truly, in the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, and in its laws and recommendations, there are all the treasures that you can imagine, but they remain hidden to you until you turn to them and follow them. And if you turn and follow the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, then your inner world consciousness will be open and will recognize the truth of all truths. Therefore you will also recognize that the true prophets are not liberators, angels, and not envoys of fabulated, invented gods and tin gods, but that they are people of your kind, human beings, as you are yourselves, and that their knowledge and their wisdom has not been disclosed to them by gods or tin gods, rather that they fathom how to work out everything themselves by learning the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, and of its appearance, nature, and sageness, intellect. And truly, you cannot match one another in your and their knowledge and in your and their wisdom, because you are the blind ones and the true prophets are the seeing ones, even though they do not raise themselves up above you, threaten you, but place themselves as equal with you in contentment, modesty. Truly, you should think that over. Warn yourselves and be afraid that you might be gathered together and punished by people of your kind, fellow human beings, when you do things that are non-rightful, so that you no longer find any friend or spokesperson, defender, to stand by you in order that you might find clemency, grace, by admitting to your non-right and sincerely regretting it, so that you change yourselves and become righteous, conscientious, and fair, responsible. And those amongst you who are unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, do not drive out from their place those who do themselves good. Learn, in the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life, and who are striving for the flawlessness of the truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, because as people of your kind, human beings, you are responsible for their well-being just as they are responsible for your well-being. Therefore you shall not drive them out, so that you do not act unfairly and do not strain, endanger, harm your own well-being. If you are unfair ones, irresponsible ones, and non-righteous ones, conscienceless ones, then put yourselves to the test as to what extent you are gracious, mild, towards yourselves, and gracious, mild, towards people of your kind, fellow human beings, so that you may learn to appreciate in gratitude yourselves and people of your kind, fellow human beings, and to show them deference, esteem. And if you find the path to the truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, then peace as well as true love will come to you, also consonance, harmony, and the freedom of your inner world consciousness. And if you find the path to the real truth, then you accept yourselves and show benevolence to yourselves. And if you are connected to the truth, and you unknowingly do something evil and regret it thereafter, and knowingly, consciously, abstain, liberate yourselves from the same evil, then you can forgive yourselves as also people of your kind, fellow human beings, forgive you. And truly, the Goblet of Truth, the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life makes it clear to you through all its signs, explanations, that you will find the path to the truth of the primal wellspring of all vitality's creation, and that you will become one with the truth if you connect yourselves with it, make a bond.